So, I have a confession to make. I really, really, really miss corporates. And maybe I'll get into that another time, not in this video. But even with missing it so much, I get I get bummed or what a stumbling block for me is when I have to put together a CV. CV. CVs drive me insane. And I had to think about, why do I have such a problem when someone says, "Oh, you want to come here? Send through your CV." It's because it's got so many limitations. And today I think I just want to discuss six with you and really get your mind thinking around how you can brand yourself or how you can showcase who you are outside of just the traditional CV or the traditional resume. Are you ready? Let's go. Challenge number one with traditional CVs is that they focus on the past rather than the future. You all know this. Your CV highlights primarily your experience, your skills, and accomplishments. And while this is good, don't hear me wrong, while this is good, it can overshadow your aspirations, your potential, and your future goals. So a CV really fails to give a holistic view of who you are, what you've done, and what you're capable of doing. And so when someone says, "Give me your CV," I'm like, no, it will tell you that I was a specialist in product development, but not that I had a stint and I really want to do work in people development. So that's the problem number one. Number two, it lacks context. CVs lack so much context. They lack context around the circumstances and motivation behind your career choice. And I know with a lot of people, the motivation was not so great. I was told by my family that this is what I need to do. I wanted the money, but it lacks that context. All it does, it just lists, you went to Wits, you did this, and you did this, and the other. They don't convey the reason why you pursued certain opportunities, how you overcame certain challenges, and what really drives your professional aspiration. And this is the problem with me. Like, I want to tell you a story, I want to detail all those things, but CVs just want you to be brief. They really prioritize brevity and conciseness, and that's really a challenge. Number three, it's their inability to capture soft skills and personal attributes. These CVs are limited in their ability to convey what your soft skills are, really what your intangible qualities are that are essential for a lot of successful stories and for your overall success. Okay? And listen, hard skills and technical competencies, it's great. We need to see them on paper. But what about things like empathy, adaptability, creativity, leadership? These are really difficult to not only quantify but convey effectively on a resume. So if you could have a walking resume, and that is possible, I'm going to show you how, I'm going to tell you how, that for me would be ideal. And maybe that's why I love creating content, because over saying hire me as your MC or let me come as a speaker, I can say, look at what I've done. But a CV will just say, I worked with Coca-Cola. Whether I worked with Coca-Cola well or not, whether Pampers was happy with my delivery or not, the CV will never say. It will just say, she came, she saw. But whether she conquered is a different story. Number four, CVs homogenize one's experience. It's got a standard format, and so it leads to your experience really being homogeneous, as well as your qualifications. They fail to capture your unique combination of skills, of experiences, and your perspectives. This is what I don't want. People want to limit me to a piece of paper. No, I want to show you. Just trust me when I say I can do it. Okay, but don't, because people really need to convey that they're good at what they do. And so it's really difficult to stand out in a CV. And here's the other thing. People have become so crafty because they know that certain recruiters look at certain keywords. So they just fill the CVs with those keywords, and there's really not much vetting or not much proof that you can do what you can do. So if you want to stand out, a traditional regular CV may not be the thing that helps you stand out. Another thing is it's got limited space for storytelling. And I told you, I want to tell stories. I want to be elaborate. I want to expound, but CVs don't really afford you that opportunity. So there's limited space to build a narrative around how you landed on what your grades are doing and how you effectively put it together. Again, I said they prioritize conciseness and brevity. So you really struggle to convey your professional purpose and the journey that has led you to where you are today. And that's my challenge. The last thing I find very challenging with the traditional CV is this: it overemphasizes credentials. When you see all those professional titles, you can easily be swept and carried away by that, and you really don't know the person and their abilities to the core, right? They emphasize degrees, certifications, and job titles. And if we're honest with ourselves, these job titles, these big job titles that we have got such little bearing, or really literally limitedly convey what we actually do. So there's these flamboyant and big job titles, whereas back at the ranch, all you do is just look at spreadsheets. But that's not where we are. My issue is these CVs don't necessarily reflect a person's true potential, their passion, or the alignment with their professional purpose. And so it's easy to overlook valuable skills and experience that is gained through non-traditional paths or extracurricular activities. And we know that most of our learnings haven't necessarily come from our qualifications or our degree. They've come from our interactions, they've come from the little courses that we've taken, but the paper really limits us to what we can do, and it fails to convey all of who we are. And so I said that if you can be a walking CV, you definitely can do that. You can have an online portfolio, your LinkedIn profile. You can not really exploit, but you can take advantage of networking opportunities where you can really share your story, showcase your talents, and articulate in depth what your professional purpose is. Maybe I need to get myself out of my irritation with CVs and put it together and send it out. But the way I'm doing things is literally how I would like you to do things. Have your CV, yes, but also please showcase yourself in more ways than just that paper, because more often than not, these recruiters, these organizations stack the papers, throw them in the bin, and you have no opportunity to stand out. So use every avenue that you have to really show who you are, what your story is, what your journey has been, and what your unique selling point is. Okay? Don't be boxed by that paper. Please don't be boxed by that paper. Until next time, don't forget to like, to comment, to share, and most importantly, to subscribe. I will see you next week. Ciao.